Hello all sentient beings and welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we talk about all news, comics, and media related to thee. On this 200th episode of Transmissions Alt Mode, we review Transformers issue 22. Target is selling a G1 Transformers backpack, and we find out how much money IDW lost this time from their third quarter fiscal results. Today is Friday, September 25th, 2020, and this is episode 200 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that booked a ticket on the first arc off of Cybertron. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
The amazing and awesome producer and editor, Mike.
I nearly missed my flight to the Ark.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
If Titanic movies have shown me anything, it's that you don't take the first trip on anything. Let's talk Transformers.
All right. This is big 200 episode of Alt Mode. So congratulations to us. We just celebrated our 400th transmission episode this week. So go listen to the toy show. We talk all about 400 episodes. Long time.
Seemed like only minutes ago. I know.
And yeah, we're excited. So as always, we start out the show by thanking our donatrons, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal. We welcome a brand new donatron this week. This is a big thanks to Bisto Yeti. Thank you so much for contributing to the show, and we hope you're enjoying it and listening. I hope you come by the Discord, hang out with us, and just have a fun time. You do get to listen to the show live when we record it every Sunday if you so desire. So link your Patreon account to your Discord account, and you can do that.
I wonder if Bisto Yeti knows my good friend Bistro Sasquatch.
Maybe they're the same person.
I don't know. It's hard to see. You never see them both in the same spot.
Cafe Bigfoot. I'd go there. Hell, I'd go to any of those places.
Yeah.
Bistro Yeti? Yeah. Think they serve Yeti there?
Oh. No, the Yeti serve you. In Bisto Yeti, the Yeti serve you. All right. We've also got merchandise at our TeePublic store. You can go to transmissionspodcast.com/shop. Check out all our shirts and hats and masks and merchandise. You can also check out our friend K-Girl store at tpublic.com/user/superstark. And celebrating our 200th episode and 400th episode of Transmissions, we're doing a giveaway, and we've got lots of cool prizes. Grand prize is a $50 Toy Hacks gift code generously donated from toyhacks.com. Second prize is a Transmissions hoodie with a design of your choice, generously donated by transmissionspodcast.com. And
great guys.
And third prize is a $25 gift card from an online retailer of your choice, and you can buy some Transformers with that or whatever you want. So if you want to enter, just hit us up on social media, follow us on Twitter, or like our Facebook page, and then send us a message with hashtag Transmissions400, and we will collect all those entries and put you in a big drawing. You can also send an email to contest@transmissionspodcast.com, and you can enter that way if you don't have social media. And if you are a donatron, don't do anything because you're already entered in the contest. All donatrons are automatically entered. And duly appointed supporters of the Transmissions podcast, those are the upper echelon tiers, you guys get 2 entries. So that's cool. You got to send in your entry by October 1st, 11:59 p.m. ET. And the drawing will be held on Sunday, October 4th. And winners will be announced in our October 7th toy episode. So that's episode 402. So not a whole lot of time, but you've got over a week to get your entry in. So get cracking. It's very easy. And next week, we've got episode 33 of Empire of Rust, a shortfall off a long pier. And that's coming out this Monday, September 28th. Mike, it felt like in the last episode, things were getting closer to a conclusion of this adventure. They'd killed the Spark Eaters. They had gotten back to the Metallicus, and it seemed like they're going to get the big bad reveal of who's behind all the shenanigans going on at the Opabus station. Is that what's going to happen here?
Indeed, and this is the second to last episode of this chapter, and that'll wrap up the kind of story in Opabus, and the guy's going to head back home to Iacon, only to find that things are a little bit different there. So definitely tune in and join us on our adventure back to the city.
Very cool. So this is the first and only Transformers live play RPG podcast.
I'll accept that. The one and only Transformers RPG podcast.
Yeah,
we're also due.
No, as I say, I enjoy listening every week as I get the show ready and prepped for the to go up. So yeah, I'm having fun.
I appreciate that. And of course, the second episode of A Hell by Any Other Name, the original Patreon exclusive that we did with Charles, Jeremy, Adam from Empire of Rust, and myself, is going to be coming up next week, and the following week. I'm sorry, and the first episode should already be up in your feeds. So we're going to be releasing that on the standard Empire of Rust feed for the rest of you, and that will be coming in on the off days that the main show of Empire of Rust is not released. So.
Cool. Yeah, that was really fun. I hope we get to do another adventure sometime soon and follow up on all the exciting happening. And that will tie into the main Empire of Rust story at some point in the future. So look forward to that.
You can always see like little bits and pieces of the mention for it of the Metallicus and the investigators in the main storyline that are kind of tied into that. So it's same world, same universe.
Cool.
We're not quite ready to make an announcement yet, but I think we will pretty soon about a new upcoming adventure for you guys. So I think at some point in the near future, we can go ahead and start dealing with that.
Nice.
It'll be fun.
The return of CMOS and scrap metal?
Scrap heap.
Scrap heap. There we go. I was close.
And who could forget Kiloton?
Oh yes, Kiloton.
And of course, I can't also ignore Professor Sprocket.
Professor Sprocket may make a reappearance, or maybe be one of the other cast members will be joining us.
Exciting. Maybe we can convince Daryl to join in this time. Make a character.
Pretty sure I'm busy, but we'll see.
I'm hoping Yoshi can join, because I know he'd really love it.
All right. So that's all the housekeeping we've got. So let's start off and get into some comics news. All right. First up, we've got the business report on IDW's financial situation. So IDW Media Holdings released their third quarter financial information for third quarter of 2020. I think there's some good news, at least for IDW Publishing. There's some good news. Jeremy,
should I 2020 is almost over?
So, yeah, I mean, it continues to be the entertainment side of IDW that's dragging everything down. They do note that in the third quarter, the publishing operations was still impacted by both the closure of comic stores and Diamond basically shutting down. So they're going back up, but they aren't back to their pre-pandemic levels. But in good news, like in the takeaway section, it said that the publishing generated year-over-year improvement for the second consecutive quarter, despite the challenges related to COVID-19. The year-over-year increase in the IDW's loss, like consolidated loss from everything, resulted from production expenses because of they had the first 5 Winona Earp season 4 episodes were aired by Sci-Fi. So production and all the costs related to that. They need to get out of the TV business. They'd be doing a lot better. But yeah, so it was nice to see that year over year, the publishing side of things, they're making, we know that they've made some tough changes, layoffs and furloughs and stuff. Their second consecutive quarter of improving. So that's great. But, much like we saw with Toys R Us, you have all this other stuff dragging you down. You're basically just trying to keep your head above water. I don't know. It's going to be still rough goings, I think.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out on IDW, how the health of their business, because of course we care about getting more Transformers comics from IDW, but we'll keep you posted. But let's get into some of the more comic stuff. So we do have another IDW Transformers cross Back to the Future crossover. There's another retailer exclusive cover that was released. This one is from JR's Comics. It's their exclusive cover, and the art is, well, we'll have to have a discussion about this. The art is says it's from Diego Galindo. That's the artist, but there might be an issue with that. So we had some issues in the past about art being copied, and Daryl, looks like this is happening again.
Yeah, it's happening again. This was brought to light on Twitter by Damn You Willis, then picked up by TFU.info. And then Ant clued me into it because of what happened previously with that other cover that we talked about for the Transformers vs. Terminator series. Essentially, there's an image of Bumblebee on this cover that is straight up stolen from back in the Dreamwave days. And it's a image of Pretender Bumblebee that has been shoehorned into this cover. There's an Optimus Prime on this cover as well, and I can't tell what this is from, if it's from anything, if it's been stolen from anything else. It might be. It looks an awful lot like a toy image that's just been kind of, traced over, but the Bumblebee is a straight up ripoff of this Pretender Bumblebee that's from Dreamwave. I can't see the signature on this image. It looks like a Pat Lee kind of drawing, but it could be Don Figueroa's as well. I know he was doing some stuff back in those days as well.
If it's a Pat Lee, it could be anybody.
That's true, but yeah, definitely. I mean, you can see where the artist did make some changes when copying the image over for the cover. Like the tires aren't as treaded as they are in the original Dreamwave image. It's the same image. He gave him a gun instead of just the fist in the Dreamwave image. It's the exact same.
He's apparently going to shoot Marty.
Yep, I guess. So yeah, this kind of stuff really drives me nuts. If this is the second cover that's done this that we've caught anyway, and this is a store that has hired an artist to do a exclusive cover for them. And we did this exact same process. We hired an artist. We had Alex Milne do a cover for us. This is not a difficult process. You have a artist draw a cover for you. You pay the artist, you submit the image. Now, if the artist is not capable of drawing the characters that you need them to draw, get somebody else. Now, whether or not this artist is a friend of the owner of the store that's purchased this cover is a different story. We don't know. But this kind of stuff is getting ridiculous. The previous one that was caught, there was a lot of hubbub about the fact that a lot of the images were created and had appeared in IDW books already, and it hadn't been caught by an IDW, editor or anybody at IDW. This is a Dreamwave image. Yeah, it's been around a long time, but somebody should have seen it and caught it. Like, it did not take long for a member of the fandom to catch this, right? Like, this thing went up on the 14th, and it was the 15th, the image was kind of caught. So, actually, no, the original tweet was on the 14th, so it was caught the same day that the image was released. So, it's ridiculous that this kind of stuff gets through. I don't know what you're going to say. There's a lot of people out there that collect every single cover of every Transformers book, so they're going to buy it. And that's unfortunate, because stuff like this can't be, we can't allow this stuff to continue. This is stealing other people's work, whether it's Lee or not, right? We can't have this stuff continue. So I would implore everyone to not buy this cover and send a message to this store that having an artist steal an image is not the way we want to do things. That's all I got to say about this.
All right, yeah, it's an unfortunate situation, and yeah, I mean, I also feel bad for the comic seller. I mean, I'm sure they probably weren't aware that this image was not was copied and not original, so they just thought it was a cool image they were getting. So that's definitely a bummer.
Yeah.
Their drawing of Marty on there has that same kind of feel to it, the kind of feel that the pose just doesn't feel right to the overall look of the piece. So I'm wondering if that is kind of the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's like why is he like shouting or yelling?
I wonder if it was like from two different pictures of Marty, like getting out of the car and also running or something.
Yeah. I mean, there have been like plenty of cases before where like professional artists have just like straight up like traced a photo reference from something.
Usually if you have an artist that does this for one image, the likelihood is that the rest of the image has multiple examples. It's just we haven't found them yet.
Yeah.
It's Greg Land. That's who you're thinking of. Greg Land.
Land, yeah.
Yep.
Apologies to Greg Peck.
Yes, sorry, Greg Peck. Different Greg. They both have done Star Wars stuff.
All right, and now to actual comic news we can be a little bit happy or excited about. IDW just announced a new Transformers miniseries. I guess this is taking the place of Transformers Galaxies as the secondary comic series starting in December. This is Transformers Escape. So this tells the story as the war is heating up on Cybertron. A few bots are reigniting the ARC program to get as many people off the planet as possible to escape from the war. So I think this is a cool idea, recasting the ARC idea as not just one ship, but maybe a series of ships. I mean, they did this in the previous IDW series as well, as kind of a fleet of explorer ships, and later the standard Autobot ships. But here, this is taking off a different idea where we've got Wheeljack as one of the main characters, starting this new ARC program to get as many people evacuated as possible. So that's issue 1 that starts in December. And it's going to be 5 issues. It's written by Brian Ruckley, so the same writer who writes the regular Transformers series, and art by Bethany McGuire-Smith, who has done a lot of art on the regular series as well with Anna Malkova. But Bethany McGuire-Smith is doing all the art for this series, so that's cool. And lastly, we've got solicitations for December 2020. In addition to Transformers Escape number 1, we've got Transformers number 26 coming up, Transformers Cross Back to the Future number 3, and the trade paperback of Transformers 84 Secrets and Lies that collects not only issues 1 through 4 of the series that's coming out now, but also issue 0 from last year. So that's all in a nice package, and nice to have it collected like that. All right, that's all the comics news, so let's move on to our comic review.
All right, and we are looking at Transformers number 22. This is written by Brian Ruckley, art by Anna Malkova. It's written by Brian Ruckley, art by Anna Malkova, colors by Joanna LaFuente, letters by Jake M. Wood. Editors are David Marriott and Tom Waltz, with assistant editor Riley Farmer. And there are 3 covers here. We have cover A, which has some pretty bad-looking fembots. I'm guessing members of the Rise are now Decepticons. This is by Anna Malkova. Cover B has Quake being taken through an angry mob in the city, and this is by Andrew Griffith and John Paul Bove. And the retailer incentive has Quake taking on some Voin, and this is by friend of the show, Winston Chan. Charles, let's start with you. Which one of these?
Shout out to our friend of the show, Winston Chan. It's a great cover image. However, I do have to go with Anna Malkova's cover A. I just really like that image, and I'm always a fan of having more female Decepticons. We don't get a lot of female Decepticons across the franchise often, and it's cool to have these characters become prominent. I know this covers a bit of a lie because they don't appear in this issue at all, but I just really like this image. And Flame War, Slipstream, and Shadow Striker as 3 badass Decepticon ladies. Just looks cool. I mean, they're not technically Decepticons yet. They're still the Rise, but the Decepticons are coming. They're almost here.
Mike, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going to echo that. I'm going to go with Anna's cover. Just composition, color, posing, everything. Yeah, that's certainly my favorite.
Cool. Daryl?
I too am going to go with Anna's, and I do like Winston's quite a bit as well. I mean, they're all quite good. Andrews is also very good, but I do like the symmetry with Anna's. It's a very Scarface like photo, only instead of 1, it's 3. It's I like it a lot. But everybody brought their A game on these covers this week.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to make it a clean sweep. Like you said, all the covers are good this week, but it's just this image. I don't know exactly what it is, but it might be the symmetry that is really just drawing me to it. But I really like it. All right, on with the summary. This is continuing Rise of the Decepticons. The title of this is Prisoners. Out in the Badlands, Sixshot is taking out Nova Star's forces almost single-handedly, while Frenzy and Rumble are freeing Quake. Nova Star and Springer can't penetrate Quake's armor in his tank mode, but SureShot lets Nova Star know that backup is coming. Leviathan shows up and grabs Quake with her huge hand and smashes him like a toddler with a toy car. Quake still manages to blast her in the knee, though, but the angles are wrong, and Leviathan falls right on him, taking him completely out of the fight. Sixshot realizes that the tide has turned, and he orders a quick retreat. Windblade wants to follow, but Nova Star says no. Their priority is to take care of their injured and to bring in Quake. In the Senate, Sentinel Prime is ordering that Quake be marched through the streets so the public can see the murderer, and hoping that it turns the sentiment away from Megatron. Orion Pax vehemently disagrees, but he's denied by the first senator. Frustrated, Orion orders Ironhide to beef up security. As he's doing this, Nautica contacts Orion Pax to let him know that she's lost track of the Void Accuser she was following. It's another big problem to deal with. Meanwhile, Bumblebee has been dealing with his guilt while in a safe house, and hearing the procession coming, he heads up to a spot where he can see it. The security team is struggling to keep the public out of the road as Novastar, Flatline, Smokescreen arrive with Quake. The Decepticon Skytread receives a private transmission from Soundwave saying that Quake cannot be in captivity. Skytread was waiting on this, and he alerted his nearby supporters. They drag the floating platform down, and Quake escapes. Bumblebee sees all this, and realizing that Quake is going to get away, he races out in pursuit. As Quake runs down an alleyway, he encounters the missing Void Asserter. They attack each other, and the Void slices off Quake's hand, freeing him from his bonds. Quake manages to defeat the Void, but he's wounded and nearing collapse when Bumblebee finds him, and afraid that he's going to get away, grabs one of the Void's swords and slices him through the neck. Smokescreen and Stakeout arrive to find Bumblebee and Quake's body. Stakeout says that he's not security anymore and he's put under arrest, but Bumblebee is still worried about Barricade. So that is the issue, and I thought it was pretty action-packed for like a couple of scenes. Still trying to get the politics, and I don't know, Sentinel Prime just continues to be frustrating to me. I don't think I've ever really liked his character. I liked the 2 action scenes we got, particularly the end one where Bumblebee, my impression is that Quake was about to just kind of either pass out from exhaustion or just like collapse in some way, but Bumblebee just like took him out. But I mean, overall, I'm enjoying this. I thought the art was okay. There was a couple panels that really kind of I thought were good. There was like one of Optimus I thought was really good, but I didn't really have much of a problem at all. So I don't know. I fairly enjoyed this. It's continuing on the path. So I think things are finally heating up. The crowds are going. I don't think that they are going to side with Sentinel Prime about this. What do you guys think? Daryl, we'll start with you.
Well, the action definitely picked up. The discussions and the politics and all that stuff is fine for expanding the world and showing where everyone's kind of standing. But this was an action issue, and I really appreciated that. It's been a long time coming, and you know, the episode or the issue starts off with action and it ends with action, and I really like that. It was good to see. Yeah, what's her name again? Leviathan, yes. It was good to see Leviathan. You know, she's just awesome. Yeah, I really liked the battle for her. You know, even falling and kind of smushing Quake, you know, it's fine, you know, whatever. Gets the job done. Then everything kind of coming back to the city and the almost escape of Quake, that was exciting. But the real action was right at the end with the fight with the Void and then Bumblebee kind of taking him out. That was fantastic. And I'm sure the fact that you see his spark kind of leaving his body there at the end, I don't know if that's going to mean anything in the and you know, the following issues, whether he's truly dead or something like that. But he looks pretty dead here.
I think he's dead.
So yeah, I thought it was okay. It was good. The art is decent as well. I mean, Anna's doing a good job. The backgrounds, they you know, they're there. You know, there probably could be a little bit more detail in some of the backgrounds. They're getting grittier. Like these images are getting grittier and a little bit more. There's a lot more detail than what we saw in some of her earlier work. So I'm really happy with what the art is starting to turn into. So yeah, pretty good book on my thoughts there.
Mike, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think I was actually on the show when we did the previous issue, 21, and I remember being very, very critical of the pacing and kind of the jumpiness of it, and I did not get that vibe with this one. The story felt very cohesive. It felt like it moved in a linear manner. There was like one or two little pieces where it kind of like switched perspectives for a page or two, but it all tied back to what was going on within the main action. It wasn't a break and then a complete separation. So the story and the pacing on this one I like a lot better than I did the previous one. The artwork is, I think, mixed for me. There are some pages and some panels that I think look really good, and then others that I think fall kind of flat. So, yeah, a mix on that. With the action, I'll agree with Daryl on this one. The amount of action that was in there was pretty good. It felt like stuff actually happened on this issue. So yeah, overall I think fairly positive. A couple of like little nitpicks and pieces that I didn't enjoy here and there, but for the most part, yeah, just a good solid issue. I was kind of disappointed that Leviathan just got like shot in her leg and just fell over like within the first like page of her being in the fight. At the end of the last issue, it seemed like she was gonna put an end to this. Like, oh crap, here comes Leviathan. She transformed for like the first time in what, thousands of years. Yeah. And then her first action is, all right, let's smash Quake to the ground and then get shot and fall over. It's like, that's a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, it's like you can see how powerful she is by what she's doing. So you're not going to have a character that powerful be in play for that long. I mean, look at what Robots in Disguise did with Omega Supreme.
Yeah, they took him out as soon as they needed to for the story.
Yeah. All right, Charles, what are your thoughts? One thing I wanted to see what you thought about was just the continuity between this kind of the ending of the Bumblebee Quake arc, but also with Six Shot. There was a nice continuity there with the with Windblade, where she goes to attack him and he like immediately grabs her and he's like, not again.
Mm-hmm.
Some nice little touches there.
Yeah, I mean that's great, of course, to see that the story is continuous. Although, I mean, I think we've been critical that the pacing has not really moved fast enough for this series, and I think this issue it is quite a fast paced issue, and a lot of things happen, and we get basically the conclusion to Bumblebee's revenge arc for Rubble here. Well, I guess he says he still wants to get Barricade, since Barricade was the security officer that leaked the information. But I do like getting some closure on Bumblebee mourning for Rubble. But I mean, the difficulty is we're on issue 22. I mean, it's been over a year. It's been like almost a year and a half. Or over a year and a half since the first issue. So, do we still remember that there was a character named Rubble who was murdered?
Right.
And that's what was one of the catalysts for everything happening. So,
yeah. I mean, thankfully they do mention Rubble's name at the beginning.
Yeah.
So they are kind of trying to make sure you remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and they do like the whole like the news reporter interviewing people talking about like, yeah, what should be Quake's punishment for committing this murder, and that's interesting too. And they have the character Vox Pop, with the voice of the people.
Love that character.
But yeah,
which is literally what Vox like in Latin.
Yeah,
Vox Populi.
Exactly. Yeah, so I mean, this was an issue I really enjoyed. I was really surprised at how good this issue was, and I thought it was action packed, well paced. The story flowed really well, and all the events flowed in one right into the other. And the final scene with Bumblebee stabbing Quake through the neck, I thought was brilliant. It was particularly. I mean, this is what you can get away with in Transformers, where Quake was so violent to those Voin aliens and crushing them, stomping on them, destroying them. And then Bumblebee has the coup de grace by stabbing him through the neck, destroying his, almost cutting his head off, his spark, flying out. It's, this is a level of violence that you wouldn't get with human characters because it would just look super gross. But with robots, it's okay. And I my hat's off to Anna Malkova and Brian Ruckley for the story and the art. And who was Joanna the colorist here for this one? Yeah, Joanna LaFuente. Her colors are always great. And I think this book really came together, and I'm liking. It seems like we got 2 new regulars with Anna Malkova and Bethany McGuire-Smith, and I like both of their art styles. And it's nice to have a whole book with one artist. That's we haven't gotten that in the main series very often. So it's good to have consistent looks throughout the whole book. So.
Yeah, I think it's great that they've kind of now settled down onto Anna and Bethany McGuire-Smith.
Yeah.
And with that new book, they're going to be able to kind of focus on their own characters and really kind of get the experience that they need to get better.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that is Transformers number 22.
All right, and let's move on to media news.
All right, in media news this week, we've got a new officially licensed G1 Transformers backpack by Space Junk that was found at Target. It is selling for $29.99 and is also available on the Space Junk website for all those back-to-school people in their 40s.
It does have a laptop sleeve.
There you go.
You're never too old to learn.
No. You're not. That World of Warships game is coming out with the one that's crossed with Transformers. So apparently you can get it out in the App Store now. So there is... it's free to play. I think it's dumb, but you try it out. And tell me how awesome it is to shoot at ships that Optimus and Megatron are riding. It looks ridiculous, but that's, I guess, what Warships of War are all about.
Warships of War.
I guess it's War of Warships is the name of the game, but this
World
is Warships in Disguise is the name of the thing. So, yeah. It's a lot of war in there. Anyway, if you're going to play this game, let us know what you think about it. Leave a comment or tweet at us or whatnot. I'm interested in your thoughts. Apparently the other characters, one's Rumble and the other's Bumblebee. So Bumblebee, I see he's a evergreen. He's a very, common character. You see Rumble, that's a left field pull, but whatever. We've also got another stop motion from the folks at Hasbro that have put together. Actually, this is the Netflix Japanese anime Twitter put up this stop motion, and it's fun. It's got the Netflix exclusive figures in it, and it looks fun. So take a look and tell us what your thoughts are on it. It's pretty good. I mean, they did a really good job on it. It's 3 minutes long, and a 3 minute long stop motion video that takes a lot of work. So, I mean, regardless of whether you like it or not, you got to respect the work put into it. I always think these are fun to watch. So take a look at that. And
3 minutes, 180 seconds, 24 frames a second. That's a lot of pictures.
It is. So yeah, I respect anybody who's putting this kind of work into stop motion because it's a lot.
Generally, stop motion is a little bit slower than 24, but still a lot of work.
And lastly, I get to do it. Jeremy, can you give me some truck horns here?
That's as close as I got.
Perfect. I'll take it. This is the last time that I get to tell you about Cyberverse being available on the Hasbro's YouTube channel. Episode 26 went up on Monday. It's the last one of Season 3. If you have not watched Cyberverse Season 3 yet, what the hell? It was fantastic. Watch it. If you have been waiting for the episode 26 to drop on the Hasbro's YouTube channel, it's there. Go watch it.
Yay.
It's a great show, and I'm happy that everyone's been able to get a chance to watch it. Although if you're watching it on Hasbro's YouTube channel, you're an American, because it's not available anywhere else. But yeah, it's aired everywhere else in the world by now. And that's it for media news.
All right, and we will finish up the show with some feedback. All right, so this is actually feedback for Empire of Rust, and I'm glad we have Mike here to answer it.
Almost like it was planned.
So this was left on the post for Empire of Rust episode 32, the most recent episode, Who's in the Box? But this is more a general feedback from listener Decepticreeps. He says, or he or she says, I don't know, they say, great stuff so far, gentlemen. Loving the development of the characters and the story. Is Wild Strike still functioning? As last time I remember him being around was when he flew into a building, the massive hero that he is. Be good to hear some covert intel from him as he roots out the bad apples in the C1 group, Cybertron First. More espionage and leads, please.
Well, I think you're going to be very happy with the next chapter once we get to it. So we got, like I said, about 2 episodes before we start the next part of it, and then we get into some really interesting stuff with Wild Strike. So yes, he is definitely still alive and has been working kind of behind the scenes to try and get some information for everyone. So yeah, just hang on a couple more episodes, and we'll be getting back to Iacon and seeing what's happening with Wild Strike and everyone else in the city. So yeah. And thanks, Decepticreeps, for your comments. Definitely keep them coming. Oh, and if you'd like, go ahead and join the Discord chat, and feel free to interact with us on there as well.
Cool. Yeah, they have fun in the Empire of Rust Discord channel there. So a couple of regular listeners are reacting in real time as the episodes go up, and all the cliffhangers and new events, and the cast gets to enjoy the audience's reaction. So it's cool.
I was cracking up myself when I was listening to the latest episode. when Magnum and Sweet Spot were trying to move the crate.
Yeah. Added some extra sound effects there.
And everyone can relate to that. Everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about. If you've moved even once in your life, you know what's going on.
All right. Well, that is all our feedback for this week, and that will do it for the 200th episode of Transmissions Alt Mode. Of course, before we go, we have to give a shout out to our Masterpiece Donatreons, of which there is just one so far, but it's a good one. It's Mr. John 4X Levengood. Thank you so much for becoming a Masterpiece Donatreon, and we will give you a shout out every week as long as you remain a Masterpiece Donatreon. So thank you, John. And send us those voicemails. We look forward to your voicemails. All right.
And honestly, thank you guys too for all the stuff that you've put out. I know I've been with you for a couple of hundred episodes now. I think it was like right around episode 40 or so that I started listening. And being a part of this has enabled me to start my own podcast, to do something that I had honestly never thought to try before or anything like that. So the simple fact that I was able to kind of help you guys out and do the editing and kind of go even further than that has been just a huge thing in my life. So thank all of you guys for starting up this podcast and inspiring me to create my own.
Oh, thanks, Mike. That's awesome.
Thanks, Mike.
And you know, we couldn't do this show without you. You make this show possible. I remember back in the old days, it took us 2 weeks to edit a show. So
Right.
you make
we would record on Monday to release a week from the following Thursday.
So you just made lots of things possible that we couldn't have done without you. So thank you so much.
Saved many marriages.
And we're happy and excited to bring the stuff that you've been doing as well to make that part of Transmissions too. So I'm really loving Empire of Rust, and I can't wait to see what else you've got cooking. All right, everyone, thanks for listening. We're gonna keep going. The train keeps moving; it doesn't stop. And everyone, be sure to check out our giveaway, not our contest, our Transmissions 400 giveaway. Hashtag Transmissions 400, social media, and email contest@transmissionspodcast.com. That's how you can enter. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.
Hashtag March to 500.
Bye.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Five seconds. Okay.
I am recording.
Good. Hope you've been recording since 11:29 and 30 seconds.
Yep.
Oh, wait, you want me to start?
Well, Mike, you do whatever you want. You're editing, so
At the end of the show, he looks over and he's like, well, I forgot to hit record again. Guess I'm going to take the audio from YouTube.
Oh, wow.
And this is a podcast about podcasting.
Okay.
High energy, Charles. Come on.
I know.
Get your shit together. I have been recording since 3 o'clock today.
Well, you deserve a medal.
Yes, I do.
Wow, you freaking die.
And I haven't had a drop of freaking caffeine the entire day either. All this, natural high. Boom.
That I don't understand.
I don't understand what you're saying.
No, I mean, it's like, we start recording and I have been through almost 20 ounces of coffee.
You might have a problem, Jeremy.
High energy, I said. That's the opposite.
I'm getting all the yawns out so I can ramp it up here. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
You and I both know that's not how yawns work.
Oh boy. Got to keep the pressure on, huh?